What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do a quick update on my Miata. I know it's been about a month since I made a video about this car, and that's because nothing's really happened to it. I haven't ordered any parts for it or anything like that. But as of today, a couple things have happened to it, and I wanted to share it with you. So that being said, I have some awesome news and some not so great news. Let's go ahead and start off with the bad news. Alright, so the other day I was at work. My car was parked in the parking lot. I was there for like 8 hours, and it was a pretty busy day. So when I got off, I just wanted to head on home. So I just hopped in my car, didn't really look at it, drove home. About an hour later, went out to dinner, was pulling into a parking spot, and I got out of the car to make sure I wasn't gonna actually hit my front bumper where the curb was. And when I saw that, I noticed that my emblem on the front of my car looked like it was like peeled off or like coming off. And I was like, what the hell happened to this? And after looking a little closer, I realized that the entire front bumper from like light to light had a big scuff on it, and it was actually pushed down in the center, probably maybe a centimeter down below the hood where it normally matched up, you know, perfectly flush. So it took me a couple seconds, but I quickly realized that somebody must have backed into my car while I was parked at work earlier that day. So yeah, just basically victim of a hit and run. Obviously nobody left a note on my car, nothing. They just backed into my car, took off, because people are sick, obviously. That's super sick. So after I realized that, I was pretty much devastated. I was like, dude, my car is ruined. I just spent money on all this stuff, and now someone hit it. Awesome, thanks a lot. I called the insurance company. I made a claim, so there was a hit and run. The reason I called the insurance is because I thought I had a $250 deductible, but turns out that's only on comprehensive. I have a $1,000 deductible on a collision, and this is considered a collision because a car hit another car. Whether or not I was in the car at the time apparently doesn't matter. It's still considered a collision. That means State Farm only covers if it's over $1,000. Next day I took it to a body shop, and I took it to the State Farm guy to give me an estimate on how much he thought it would be. Both of them said around $700 to completely fix the bumper. But the guy at the body shop actually said that I could probably fix it myself. After looking at the paint damage, I think it's all superficial and it will buff out. So if I just replace the bumper retainer that's actually holds the bumper on, it's like a metal plate, and get a new emblem, polish out the paint, I think we could get it pretty close to where it needs to be, but needless to say, it was pretty much a big bummer. So at this point, let me just show you the damage. Probably won't look like much on camera or to people that aren't really car people, but to me, this car, I freaking love this car. So the fact that someone just ran into it and then took off without leaving a note or anything, it's pretty messed up. And the fact that I have to pay for all this out of pocket to get it back to how it was is also super annoying. So let me show you what it looks like. All right, so starting with the emblem, you can see that this is peeled back off of the bumper and all crinkled up, so that's obviously toast. I don't know if you can see on the camera the kind of scuff. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. The scuffs here, and it looks like that pretty much from light to light there. But the biggest concern to me is the fact that this whole section was pushed down away from the hood. So you could kind of see it here, that gap. This used to be completely flush where you couldn't see in this at all. It was just lined up perfectly flush. Kind of like how it is more on this side. This side looks okay, like right in this corner is probably where it was, and then it dips under, which is super lame. You can kind of see it from there, but I think the other angle is kind of the best angle. So after talking to the guy at the body shop, he kind of recommended to me to try to kind of finagle with it myself to see how close I could get it to where I want it, without paying him the full $700, because that's gonna be the cost of labor. And what he was telling me he would do is actually do filler on that, the bumper, repaint it, like respray and clear coat the whole bumper. So that's how it gets up to that $700. But this is what he kind of told me to do, and this is what I think I'm gonna end up doing. So if I open the hood here, you'll see this metal bumper retainer right here. So I think this is what actually has got bent when they hit it. This is kind of a thick piece of metal, so if it's bent down, this bumper is attached to this retainer. If this part's sunk down the middle, the bumper is going to be attached to it, and that's also going to be sunk down. So what I ended up doing was ordering a brand new genuine Mazda bumper retainer. I'm going to replace this part And hopefully when I reinstall it, this bumper will sit more flush how it was. The bumper itself might actually be a little bent, but hopefully with the change of this retainer, it'll get it back to a little better position. Besides that, I also ordered a genuine Mazda emblem to replace this one. And then I think after I polish this up with some rubbing compound and some polish, I think the paint will be fine. And as long as I could get this gap to be a little better than it is right now, I think I'll be all right. So today I'm gonna go ahead and take off the emblem that's on there right now, get rid of all the adhesive, and I'm gonna try to polish out the bumper as best as I can. That way at least the paint will be looking good, and the only thing that'll be really missing is it won't have an emblem right now, and that little dip in the middle. But that'll look a lot better than having a shitty emblem and scuffed up paint. So that's where I'm gonna start right now, and then I'll try to do the rest of it when the parts come in. Okay, so after that last clip you saw, I messed with that emblem for probably an hour. Did a little research on the forums to see like why I was having such trouble getting this thing out. I knew that there were pin holes with like little pins to align the emblem on the bumper, and then there's adhesive as well, so I was using that floss and the heat gun to go through the adhesive, and then I thought I could just simply pull it out. But after doing some research on the 01 through 05 Miatas, they actually put little locking like tabs on the back of the pins, so you can't just simply like heat up that adhesive, take it off and pull it out. There's actually locking pins, like little discs on the back. So there's no way for me to get to those without taking the whole bumper off, and I really don't want to take the bumper off today and then wait next week, take it off again to replace all the parts that I mentioned earlier. So unfortunately I'm just gonna wait on it and just wait for the parts to come in and just do it all at one time, as much as I want to just power through it and do it today. The smart choice is probably just to wait and do it all at once. That way I'm not getting frustrated and breaking things and just whatever. It'll get done. I wanted to do it today, but it'll get done eventually. So anyway, I think that is enough bad news for one video. At the beginning of the video, I said I had good news as well, and let me tell you a little more about that. So about 2 months ago, I ordered a part from a company called GarageBerry. All my Miata bros out there will know about that. They make stuff for Mazda pretty much. I know they make a ton of Miata stuff. The specific part that I wanted was a rear wing that is not sold anywhere in America. In fact, there's only like 2 people on Instagram that I know of that have this wing. One is Bucky NB, and I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head, but I'll put them both on the screen right now. It's the sickest wing ever, and for the longest time I thought I wasn't gonna be able to get it. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know anybody in Japan that could send it to me, and that's pretty much the only way you could get it. So I did a little research and I found a company called Tetsuya Garage, and he's an importer who's based in Japan that sends over JDM parts from Japan to the US and wherever, I guess. But what's cool about him is he actually specializes in Miata parts specifically. So I shot a message over to him. You know, I thought it was a long shot. Maybe I'll just email him and see what he can do. And I sent over an email saying, hey man, can I get this wing? Is it possible? And he emailed me back and said he could, for a certain price, obviously. But I feel like I got a pretty good deal on it. I won't tell you guys just yet. But yeah, long story short, they had to actually make the wing for me. They don't have them like stocked and ready to go. They make them one at a time at GarageBerry. So I put in an order about 2 months ago, and it just showed up to my house yesterday. I haven't actually even opened it yet, which has been hard for me to do, but I wanted to open it on camera. So let's go take a look at it. Fresh from Japan, we got ourselves a new wing, boys. All right, so after about 25 minutes of trying to unwrap that plastic wrap, we finally got it out. Here it is, the GarageBerry rear wing for NBs. thing is so sick. I can't believe I actually have this now. What's really cool about it is it goes pretty much the whole width of the car. This mounts right at the edge of the trunk, and then this swings down and around. Almost reminds me of kind of like the 326 Power for like the 240 or the S chassis cars. But I think this looks even better. Like it's a combination of that and like a wing that you'd see on like a Porsche, especially with this like pretty aggressive like kind of duckbill shape right here. I cannot wait to get this thing painted and on the car. All right, so I got my uncle and my grandpa holding it up on the car. Let's take a peek. Dang. Well, there it is, guys. You got some good news, you got some bad news. Hopefully by next week when those parts come in for the bumper, I'll get the bumper all dialed in, fixed, and looking way better than it is right now. Hopefully as close to stock as possible. And then I want to get that wing mounted up, drill the holes, and actually get it fitted on the trunk there before I actually send it off to paint. So we got to do that, get it painted. I also got one more part on order from a local guy here in Anaheim. It's a part that I think every Miata needs. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but that is also on the way, and it is going to be sick. My goal is to have this car looking freaking show worthy, and I want to have it at meets, I want to have it at shows. So we're getting there. We're gonna be making some progress here. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like down below. If you want to see more content like this, click subscribe. Like I said, I got a lot more coming for this car, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Till next time, I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Peace out.